Namaste, my name is Deepak Raunijar. I'm the writer-director for the film Pooja. It's a crime drama set in Nepal in the backdrop of massive protests by dark-skinned Nepalese in 2015. It explores racism and gender identity, set in Nepal, of course. And it follows a queer police officer.
Okay. Thank you so much. I watched the film recently and I really enjoyed it. It intrigued me also to learn more about the protests and the history of Nepal. So thank you for that. I read, so yeah, a movie is never made alone. And I read that you had like a really, that close connection with your wife and partner in this movie, Asha Migrati. She also played Pooja, the leading role in the movie. So I wanted to ask how it was for you to work together with her so close. Also because the film is a personal story. Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, glad. I think it resonated with you. It connected you. It's been an 8-year long journey for making this film. This is not first collaboration with Asa. We started the company together, and we both are an outsider for Nepali cinema. Someone like her is not the regular beauty standard that Nepali film industry embraces. So someone like her getting a lead character or even any major character in the film is something like was impossible. For me, like I come from dark skin community and there was no other director or someone on the screen that I could look up to when I was growing up watching films. So those were the reasons that first brought us together in making this film or any other films. This is our third feature, sixth film together. So we've been making that. And for this one, I think, of course, like you said, it's a huge film, more than 1,000 extras. And so it took a whole village. It took a whole lot of people to love it, like it, and support us to make this happen.
Yeah, it's a really nice way to do it, I think, to work with so many people. Yeah, like you said, the character of Pooja is a complex character. She is introduced to the audience while she's biting her chest, and she's in a relationship with a female partner. But she insists on that people call her sir when she's at work, and when Mamata, the local cop she has to work with, at the moment she explicitly asks, why are you representing yourself as a man? And she not ignores the question, but she's really vague about it. My question is, how was it for you and the people writing the script? What was important to adjust? What was important to tell about the character? And what is like the core of her personal story? Also in the history of Nepal, and Nepal as like the country itself.
So like this movie is inspired by our marriage, me and Asa, because she comes from a light skin community and I come from dark skin community. And since we got together, it's been like almost 20 years now. And for her, like my world was really surprising, shocking in a way. And so like I was used to growing up, used to up those things. Like police would stop us just because I was carrying a laptop and would like me to show them a receipt that I really own that laptop. For me, that is a regular thing. For her, was something very new. So we started to argue, and like we would go to a restaurant, we would not be served just because like I think I'm there. And so things like that was extreme for her. And then the protests happened in 2007, 2008, 2015. Hundreds of people died. So for us, we felt like a necessity or kind of less responsibility of making this film to explore a bridge between these two communities that we come from, like each other. So we wrote this script together. And because we were thinking about Asa as a central character, and she was going to play for it, we thought this to be like Pooja to be an outsider who comes a community like she came to my life. So that's where we started. But once we decided it would be a police drama, like set in a police department, big because at that moment, like in where we were trying to situate the story, the protesters and the locals and police are from two different ethnicity. Most of the police officers are light skinned and they doesn't speak local language. So for us, it felt like it's really like that tough time where the locals didn't trust the police. Police had really hard time to connecting, and that what like inspired us to set the story there. Then we started research in our process. We would interview a lot of people, go to their homes, go to their offices, work. So interviewed a lot of people like Pooja. And we came across like, I think all these officers who joined the police in that age group, either were queer or even if they were not queer, they were like forced to make themselves look like masculine, like short hair, like I think like they didn't have uniform for themselves. Like I think they only had a men uniform for men, so they had to embrace that. There was no bathroom for female, so they had to survive in that environment. And like minute you allow your junior to call you ma'am, they start dominating you. They doesn't respect you. They don't respect you as a senior, as a commanding officer. So for them, like it was natural. They started to ask themselves to call Kishore and created that kind of like one kind of mask themselves, that mindset to be able to function in that world. So that's where the Pooja comes from. It's inspired by real people that we interviewed. We could not name them on the film, but we interviewed multiple people. It's not just one person, but it's a composite of the character, that people that we interviewed, and we embraced that. And also, like for us, it felt though we both are straight, we both are like I think may have more privileges growing up than someone who has identity that they cannot even embrace in the department like police. For us, it felt also the responsibility and also in a society at the moment that we should celebrate Pooja. We should celebrate like someone like Pooja to be on the screen. That never been a film of people like a dark skinned character being on the screen, or there have never been a film that was embracing queer identity. So for us, like in each film is a step ahead. And for this one, we felt that this is the right time for us to embracing it.
Yeah, really nice and interesting and important, I think, to tell. A theme that stood out to me in the film was discrimination, for sure, in different forms and on different topics. But you choose to let the two populations, I think it is the Madhesi population that Mamata is part of, and the Pahadi population that is where Pooja is from. You let them work together, which I think is a really important part also of the movie. You just talked about it. But has the situation since 2015 in Nepal, has it progressed? Or is this for you a way to open up a conversation, a lot of conversations actually, and to send a clear message into the world?
There has been like, it was the latter one, like I think we wanted to force or like encourage people to have a conversation about it. We have a long way to go. We just released the film in Nepal, and it had sparked the conversation, like a conversation going, but the biasness is still really huge for like some people, like people, especially in the capital, like thinking about, oh, this is not my story. This is a other way of your story. So I think it was nice for us to do this, and for us, like that has sparked the conversation, and I hope it will continue more.
Yeah. And you said you did a lot of research. Was it you like opened up conversations literally with people about what you were gonna make. How was that process for you and all the other people who worked with you? Was it really important to have like a central, you all have to be on the same page when you make a movie like this? How did that process go?
That was really well, for especially with the crew and people who came to support the film, because we didn't have money, like we were very little money when we went to shoot the film. And so like it could have only been possible through the help of people. And a lot of people came, like even my investors, they had no idea about, some of them they had no idea about this discrimination in the beginning. And they learned about the story and they came to support it just because of that. And it was same with the crew, like a lot of crew didn't come to like just that they would make a lot of money in this film making it, but they came for love of the story, love of our works. And so like it was nice conversation already during the filming itself, and it's been continuing with the screening of the films. Like we talked to a lot of police officers during even research, who generally would not go beyond their comfort zone into the community or speaking. Like even the conversation about languages, like in the film that we use 3 languages. In real life, police does not embrace local languages. So for us, like even to like push from the film saying like you have to use local language, you need to know local language to be able to communicate, even to understand the local community, was a part of like that movement. So we would go to talk to police and ask about these things. It has changed slightly now that we would see some of the at least local speaking officer like Mamata in some of the places. But in the time where we started researching it, there was none. You would not see anyone who would speak the language. So people were literally felt alienated when they came to police. They didn't know how to communicate with them. And they would always use the middleman. And middlemen would take the money. And I think it was complicated for them.
Yeah, I can imagine. Your last film, White Sun, was about the Civil War. So I think a lot of themes are about the political situation also in Nepal and the ethnic populations. Is it something that you want to progress in your work? Is it something that you find that needed to be like it needs to be told, and that you want to like another work is gonna be about it also?
Highway, White Sun, and Pooja was kind of trilogy in some way. It was all 3 post-war films, like exploring the society in the wake of the Civil War. So my 4th film is not going to be that, but it still would carry away some of the themes that we still remain in our society, like racism or gender situation that we grew up with, and it still is very much common right now. So those are things that would go with, I think, any work I will do would be there in some sense. But we're like, I think it won't directly be about war. It won't directly be about the current political scenario in the country.
Okay, that's really important. So thank you for that. Is there something else you want to tell the audience, or a question that you have for them before they see the film or after they see the film that they should think about?
I think like one big request would be like, I think issues like identity or is largely being questioned right now, been in attack right now. Situation like racial discrimination or discrimination based on skin color is not only in Nepal. It's everywhere, and I'm sure it's in Belgium and surrounding. So I would just like request anybody watching this film to ask themselves how they felt about it, how they felt about these characters and them being discriminated. If they can look around themselves in their society and reflect it.
Okay. it's a really beautiful question, and I think it's the most important one. I think if you sit in a cinema and watch something, that it can do something with your own life and that you can reflect on it. So I want to thank you for this interview, for talking to us a little bit, and I hope everyone enjoys the movie.
Thank you.